Looking to dominate your dynasty? Whether you're a seasoned college football strategist or just starting your journey, PoodleCFB.com is your ultimate game changer. Get in-depth analysis, expert strategies, and cutting-edge tools designed to give you the edge over everyone in your dynasty. Gain access to exclusive spreadsheets, dynasty ranking, custom player tools, and insider tips through the guide to outsmart your rivals and dominate your league. Step up your game at PoodleCFB.com. Make sure to use code Poodle for 10% off your order. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Poodle back with another CFB 25 video. And in today's video, I'm going to go over the best methods to recruit with a small school in Dynasty mode. Now, before we get into the video, guys, as always, give this video a big thumbs up. Can we get 500 likes in this video? You guys have been begging for a video like this, so please, I'm going to give you my whole thought process from A to Z on how I would handle a 1 to 3 star recruit. This is foolproof. It's going to be a dominant way to quickly build a small school and basically destroy your league with the school very quickly, especially if you all start at small schools. You're going to outpace them very quickly following this. Comment down below if you have anything else to add. And guys, when building with small schools, I cannot stress the importance of my website, PoodleCFB.com. The spreadsheet has all the coaches laid out, all the school traditions, all the program traditions, all that stuff, all the A's, the C's, the grades for ideal pitches. There's everything on there on the spreadsheet. This is very helpful for small schools. Plus, my guide breaks this down in depth on how to do this. And of course, you get access to the Discord. Use code Poodle for 10% off. This is very helpful. And of course, while building the school, you'll be in the chat with me, and I'll be able to you could just send me screenshots to tell you exactly what to do, exactly what I would do. And people are going to start accusing you of cheating. They're going to think you're cheating in your league because you're going to be the best team builder and the best program builder in there. So make sure to check it out and use code Poodle for 10% off. But let's get into it. So guys, the first thing you want to do when picking your small school, if you have a school that you want, that's fine. But me personally, when I'm going to pick a small school, I'm going to do a few things. First, I'm going to pick a school that's very smart or a school that has really good campus lifestyle. Why? These are two grades that can't be changed by play. So for me, picking Duke is an easy one because not only are they a 2-star school, they're small. I like where they're located, right? I like where Duke's located for pipelines, and they happen to have A+ academic prestige. What I like about this most is that when trying to grow your stars, you won't be held back by any of that. So I'm gonna get like the intangibles, the ones that you can't change, out of the way. So me personally, when you're picking a small school, focus on one with a good pipeline and happens to have academic prestige or campus lifestyle. Like I said, my spreadsheet has all this to make it easier for you to find. But if not, you look at the right-hand bar there, you'll see the ones in your range and kind of how to improve that. But definitely keep that in mind. So let's go through this. The first 3 to 4 years, what you absolutely want to be doing. Let's start with this before we can get into the recruiting method. While you do what I'm going to tell you to do, absolutely be focused on building these grades. To be able to build this into an elite program, you need to build these grades. The biggest one here is going to be obviously pro potential. That's going to take some time, but the simplest way to do this is going to be following what I'm going to tell you next. But what you need to be doing is just winning. Win games. Make sure you're winning. Don't just sim through. Make sure you're trying to win these games. The more games you win, the easier this is going to be and the quicker this is going to be. But the recruiting method is really what you're here for, so let's get over to that. But make sure you are getting those grades taken care of. Don't tank. Don't just sim games while you build this up. The first thing you want to do is follow my ideal coaching build. So remember, when following my ideal coach build, you want to follow it in the exact order that I lay it out. I posted a few weeks ago. It's called the best coaching build in CFB 25. Go check it out. And again, if you want an in-depth analysis, it's in my guide on my site. But I broke it down in video, so go check that out. What you want to be doing right away those first 3 seasons is maxing recruiter out to my specifications. I'm not going to do it in this video because it's going to be very long, but basically going to tier 3 in the first one and getting elite recruiter unlocked. But again, follow that video for all that. You need my coaching build. My coaching build allows you to bully people. So if you're a 4 to 5 star team with my build, you're going to bully everyone. If you're a 2-star school with my coaching build, you can start bullying 3 and 4 star schools, but you need my coaching build. So make sure you go take a look at that and get that in, because that's when I keep referring to throughout this video to my coaching build, just go watch that video after so you know what I'm talking about. So 2 things you're working on over the first 4 seasons. The first 4 seasons, you're building that coaching build and you're building your grades. In the first season, what you want to be doing is playing safe recruiting. What that means is, while setting your board, do not go for 5 stars. You're not getting a 5-star yet. You will with my build, but not yet. What you want to do is start with your 4 stars, and you want to go in basically and go to offers. That first week, scout your players, right? Go to offers. You want to be stealing players. So what you want to do first and foremost is do this. Go to interest. I would do this first. I'd go like this. I'd add these guys to my board. That's where I'd start. Then I'd go through and add these guys to my board. Just like this, right? Add all the guys that want to play for your team. When you're a small school, you don't have a preference. You're taking guys that want to play for your team that are good. Do not recruit 1 and 2 stars. You don't need them. Now, in an online league, keep this in mind. Most people are going to be focused on the big fish. So you can actually steal a lot of 4 stars. but you need to be strategic. So what you want to do is after that first week advances, you're going to want to go in, and I'm not going to simulate all this because it's going to be so time consuming and boring. I'm trying to explain it, so listen carefully. That first advance, when you go through, people are going to start making their offers. You're going to see. What you want to do is after you establish the 4 stars that want to play for you, make sure you use all your scouting points and all that. Then go through and do this. Sort by offer. You're going to see that there's going to be a bunch of 4 stars. Like you're going to see that this guy down here or whatever, all the way down here, 197, unrecruited, 228, unrecruited, 231 rank, unrecruited, 235, unrecruited. Add all those guys to your board. You need easy wins. Now, the reason being is you need your pro potential up. You need your championship contender up. All this is going to help by you just need to start bringing in better talent to increase those grades and being able to actually win more games. You're not being picky here. So don't be a guy that's like, oh, I'm scouting, I'm doing this. No. You're going to try to bring in about 10 to 12 4 stars, or maybe 5 to 10. Let's be realistic first here. 5 to 10 of guys that go unrecruited. Then you're going to come back around after you're done and bring in and do play cleanup with 3 stars on players that you think have potential, like a quarterback you need that's really fast, so on and so forth. This is where you could do preference. You could sort by speed, by height, by zone coverage, so on and so forth. That's year 1. And while doing year 1, make sure you're following my coach build video exactly, and make sure you're winning your games. Try your hardest. Winning bowl games, winning everything goes a long way in improving this. Into year 2, same thing. You're gonna do the same exact strategy year 2. Same thing. Okay, so just follow that. Take what you can get. Year 3 is where it starts to change a bit. So by year 3, ideally, and by the way, you're going for elite recruiter throughout all this when you're following my build. So make sure you're trying to be a top 5 recruiter. It may be tough, so keep that in mind. But what you're doing at this point in year 3 is you probably have your recruiter maxed out by year 3. The top bars, right? The top section. You don't have the bottom yet. But now you have more hours and you have more leverage. At which point you can then go into 4 stars. And when you sort by interest, you can start fighting for more of the guys you want. Also, while doing this, keep in mind a few other things that are really important here when recruiting. Be coordinators. So make sure that right off rip, you start to bring in new coordinators. Take a look at what you have. If your team happens to have good coordinators, you keep them. And that's another thing. On my spreadsheet, I do lay out all the coordinators in the game. So for me personally, I'm picking a team with the right ideal pitches that they start with on things I can't change. A team that has a good pipeline and a good coordinator. That helps you a lot. And to check this, you go to coachability. So look right here. This guy, Todd Clark, is a good recruiter. And he's a good motivator. That's exactly what I want in my coordinators. And so is my D coordinator. So for me as Duke, I'm keeping both these guys. I'm letting them build, and they're going to start to double up and stack my bonuses. And that's a big thing. You need to be stacking bonuses. Do not try to be the jack of all trades. That is how you ruin your program. You want to be building recruiter and motivator following my build, and you want a coordinator that has the exact same thing. So for me, honestly, Duke looks like a great starting spot. Just getting that out there. So now going to year 3 and 4. You finally have recruiters. You have your recruiters better. Your coordinators have grown. You probably have between 60 and 75 hours per player. Maybe 80 if you're lucky, but likely not. Possibly. Now you can start fighting for more guys. You have the hours. Where you're going to be hindered slightly is that your hard sells are going to be a little bit weaker because you don't have your program stuff all the way up just yet, possibly. But that's why it's so important, because if you upgrade your program up and you get your stars up to like 3 or 4 stars by this point, you can actually start competing. So by year 3 or 4, you can start straying slightly away from the take whatever you can get approach. And at that point, you're going after players that just have you in your top 10 because you could likely bully your way through. And at this point, you could maybe try to take a 5-star or 2. You're going to see a 5-star or 2 that come from your pipeline that want to play at Duke and you have the hours for. So by year 3 or 4, I'm likely competing for 1 or 2 5-stars, a lot of 4 stars, and I'm going to start going after elite recruiter. By year 5 and 6, this is where this program starts to really change. And this is why I always say it's a 4 to 6 year process as a small school. By year 4 to 6, where you're going to be at is this. Your school is likely a 4 to 4.5 star school. You have elite recruiter at this point because you followed my steps. And you have your coordinators now built up enough to match you. And if you've lost them, make sure you replace them with the same kind of concept. At this point, by year 5 and 6, you're able to go ahead and start bullying for some 5 stars. So that's when you can finally follow my method, which I just posted last week, the best recruiting method, right? So make sure you follow that video up with that one. What you could basically do at that point is add all the 5 stars on your board, and you could bully people with your 75 to 80 hours. Your hard sell pitches are finally good, and you're going to have all of my ideal coaching build packages to basically bully people. And I'm going to come back to show you why you're going to bully people if people don't understand. Now, if you're a 3 to 5 star school, again, separate video, so I'm not going into it. If you're a 3 to 5 star program, you're able to do that much quicker because you already start with what you basically need. You just need to get the coach build. This is going to require you to do a fresh coach plus build your program. So people always ask me like, oh, what you're saying is not applying to my school. It does. You just got to build the school first, then it applies. So keep that in mind. It's still, you could still bully people. This coach build is OP. Look right here. Basically what it comes down to is tier 1 through 3 on everything up here besides kicker and punter, and then tier 1 through 2 on everything here. Once you have all of that, you're going to get bonus hours, less time to scout, you're going to get recruiting bonuses, and then with elite, you're going to get an additional interest for every 10 hours spent. If you have 70 to 80 hours, it's times 7 or times 8. And you're going to get upsell, which means your grades have larger impacts. This is when you start cooking, but you need that first. So I'd say this will take you 2 seasons, the top part. The bottom part could take you up to 5 because you have to unlock it first by having 2 top 5 classes. And then where it really starts to get good is by seasons like 4 through 6, you can start allocating your points to motivator and getting to tier 3 and getting that off-season boost. This is when your team starts to like compound. So now you're bringing in, now you brought your team from a 2-star to likely a 4, 4.5. Now you're bringing in really good prospects because you're bullying for recruits, and now your motivator is compounding them to grow. Very quickly, you're going to see all your grades start to go up. So for me, I think this is about a 6-year plan. And then really, it's at 8 to 10 to get all those players grown. So you're spending 1 through 4 seasons building your coach. You're spending 5 through 6 starting to finalize your coach. And then 6 through 10 is starting to put all those packages to use and build a powerhouse. And I feel like a lot of people don't notice that. Like when turning around one of these teams, you're really looking at a 6 to 10 year grind. And that's the reason. But I do think if you do it the right way and you follow all my steps, by year 4, you're competitive. By year 6, you're in the mix for a championship. And the 6 to 10 season is where like you start to outpace now the 4, like the Bamas and the Georgias, etc. Obviously, some of these smaller schools will always have some hindrances. That's why I'm telling you, make sure you pick a school that comes built in with the right stuff. You take a school with a bad pipeline, you take a school with some things that can't be changed, you're going to be screwed. By year 4 or 5, you're going to see coach stability higher, right? That's simple. You're going to see that close to A. Coach prestige is going to be an A if you win enough games and you get your coordinators up, right? Brand exposure is going to be an A if you win games and get some playoff runs. And so is program tradition, and so is championship contender. And once you're there, you're bullying for recruits. But don't think you could do this. I see a lot of people trying to fight for 5 stars, even though you're like your deal broken out, or you're trying to fight for 4 stars that allow you to fight for them, but you're not going to win them. Don't do that. Year 1 through 4, take what you can get. Year 4 through 6, start to bully for some things. Year 6 through 10, you're going to be the best recruiter, and you're going to be compound building teams like a beast. But it all starts from day 1. Do not mess up your coach build, and make sure you definitely pick a team that plays into strengths with campus lifestyle, that plays into strengths with academics, and that plays into strengths with pipeline. Being the Carolina Blue Devils, right? Carolina area, Duke, that's going to go a long way in being able to do what you want to do with that Carolina pipeline in that area, and even some of the southern ones below that, and you can get some northern pipelines there. So that's a big deal. Make sure you set yourself up for success. If you pick a remote team with really bad pipelines that also has really bad pre-built grades, you're not doing yourself any favors. So just get that portion right, and you're going to go a long way. If you have any questions, comment down below. My guide on my website, poodlecfb.com, has an entire chapter section on how to follow this word by word, step by step. And you can also ask me directly in the chat, so it's even more helpful than this video. I kind of give you a summarized version of it, but it truly is like this game has a formula, and once you learn how to follow it, and once you learn how to bend it to your will of what you're trying to do, you can easily build every team. If you do it backwards, you start upgrading tactician first, you start upgrading other things you don't need, you're going to ruin your coach, and you're not going to build. Coach is the most powerful thing in this game, followed by your coordinators. But guys, that's about it for the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Give this video a big thumbs up if you're new. Comment down below if you have any questions. Remember, the link for my website will be in the top layer of the description, as well as in the comment section. Make sure to use code POODLE for 10% off. And if you guys have anything else, let me know down below in the comments. Give this video a big thumbs up. Let's get 500 likes. I'm out. Peace.